Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Wellness for Real. My name's Heather Heynen, host of this show. Kind of experimenting with not doing the huge long intro and just introducing the show without something that's pre-recorded. So we'll kind of see how this goes. So just a little bit different. I also want to invite you to head over to my website to sign up for my free monthly newsletter. It's just on all things well-being, really simple, easy reading, bullet pointed, practical strategies to help you be your best you. I also always include a high protein recipe and links to discounts on products and services that support the show. So when you use those links, you actually help to support the show, which is great. And I really appreciate that. My website is heatherheynen.com. Heynen is spelled Heynen, heatherheynen.com. If you do sign up for that monthly newsletter, just know I never ever sell or share your email address. So you don't need to worry about getting a bunch of junk mail from signing up for that. So today I really wanted to talk about something that so many of us experience, but we really do not talk about this openly. And it's what it's like to watch your body change and then to still be able to feel at peace with your reflection. So if you've ever caught your reflection in the mirror and felt a little pang, that mix of confusion, frustration, maybe even grief for some of us, like you're not quite sure who's looking back at you anymore, you are so not alone. I know just the other day I was telling my sister this, the way I was holding my phone talking to her, I was using speakerphone. The sunlight was hitting it just right so I could see my reflection into my phone. And it was just this perfect way of highlighting like all the wrinkles on the side of my face. And it was just like, my goodness, is that what my face looks like? It's like, yes, it is. We were laughing about it because it's actually pretty funny when you have those moments, right? But, you know, sometimes maybe our body feels sort of like this old friend who's changed without telling us, or maybe deep down we've been trying to chase the way we've looked for 10, 20, sometimes even 30 years ago without realizing it. And here's the thing, we really live in a culture that does not prepare us for the beauty and the messiness of an aging body. And I just think if we talked about this more openly, it's sort of like if you talk about death more openly, which is also a taboo subject in our culture, but that whole process becomes that much more easier because it's so much more filled with peace. And I think this is one of those things in life that I just wish we talked about much more out in the open, because I think it could bring so much healing and peace to people who deal with this. So I just want to propose the idea that the mirror does not show us the whole truth. I mean, what if our body image could actually get better with age and not worse? And that's kind of where we're going to head today. We're going to explore why body image struggles don't just disappear with age, how our culture wires us to feel less than as we grow older. Real stories. I'm going to give you some client experiences that you can relate to. We're going to, of course, as always, go over some really simple mindset tools, self-talk strategies, and even how your wardrobe affects how you feel about your body. And most importantly, how to build a relationship with your body based on respect and not rejection. So you might think body image issues are mostly for teenagers and maybe young women scrolling through social media. But let me tell you something from both research and my own coaching and therapy experience and personal experience. Body image dissatisfaction does not just vanish as we age. It often evolves. In fact, there are studies from the Journal of Women and Aging that show that body dissatisfaction is highly prevalent among women in midlife and older. So we may not be obsessing over thigh gaps or bikini season, but we're often silently wrestling with wrinkles and sagging skin, weight gain or redistribution of weight, cellulite. Yes, it sticks around or shows up for the first time. Gray hair, thinning hair, or hair in places it didn't used to be, like chin hair, right? Breast changes, visible veins, age spots, and joints that ache in ways they never used to. And it's not just about how we look, it's about what we make those changes mean to us. As one of my clients in her late 50s told me, when I look in the mirror, I sometimes feel like I'm watching myself disappear, like I'm becoming invisible. That was such a very poignant and sad moment. Really struck me. And maybe it resonates with you too. We're not just reacting to physical changes, we're reacting to what our culture has taught us those changes mean, that we're less attractive, that we're less relevant, that we're less valuable. And none of that is true, but it feels true when it's reinforced by beauty marketing, social media, or even comments from well meaning friends and family. So let's talk about that voice inside your head. We talk about it a lot, the inner critic. It's that one that's saying things like, you shouldn't wear that, it's for younger women, or you've really let yourself go, or you look tired, or you used to be so thin. That voice might have been with you since your teens, but she's just kind of changed tactics as you've aged. And here's what I want you to know: just because the thought is there, it does not mean it's true. This is classical cognitive behavioral therapy. It's really starting to understand our thoughts are not necessarily truth. Our inner critics are really trained by decades of conditioning. So think about it. How many magazines, if you're my age, we were doing a lot more magazines back in the day, ads or movies glorified aging naturally versus fighting it? I mean, almost none. So, of course, our inner dialogue becomes shaped by all that messaging. But here's the power we have now: that is awareness. And awareness creates space for something new. So let's talk about some real practical reframes. I want to give you three real examples from women I've worked with and the mental shift that changed everything for them. All right, so the first one here. Just a quick interruption to tell you about PhysiVantage. This is one of my favorite supplement companies, and I've been using them for years and years. I know the owner, the founder, and because of that, I can really trust. I know that what the label says is in there. Remember, if you're using supplements, you really want to vet your companies. There's no real regulation around supplements, so you need to know the company is being honest and really putting in there what they say is in there. Currently, right now, I use their supercharged collagen. I love this collagen because it has added vitamin C in it. And if you're taking collagen, you want to make sure you're taking vitamin C with the collagen so that it can really do what it's supposed to do. Research studies on that you can look up. And then I also use their Whey protein powder. I go on usually a week on with that. And then the next week I use their Powerplex vegan protein powder. I kind of switch it up. Their vegan protein powder is awesome because they have added essential amino acids into it, which, by the way, if you're using a vegan or vegetarian protein powder, remember, unless the company is adding in those essential amino acids, you're not getting leucine in that, which you really need for that muscle growth and health. So they've got this great vegan protein powder. And then I also use their creatine, which, if you've listened to this, you've heard me say, I really think creatine is important, especially for women in midlife and to help with that brain fog. There's a lot of recent studies coming out on how creatine helps the brain. So I take 3 to 5 grams of that every single day. They've got lots of other great stuff. And use my name, Heather Heynen, all one word, Heather Heynen. Heynen is spelled Heynen, as the discount code at checkout to get 15% off your entire shopping cart. You can also go straight to the link in the bottom of the episode notes. So wherever you're listening from, if you go to the episode description below, you'll find a link that'll get you right there and automatically get you that 15% off. Go check them out. This is a client who would obsess about her arms. She was in about her mid 50s. She would wear long sleeves in the summer, even in 90-degree heat. She told me, my triceps jiggle when I wave, and I can't stop thinking about how gross that is. So we did this. We reframed. I asked her, what have your arms done for you lately? And she kind of said things like, they hold my grandkids, they help me garden, they let me swim laps, even if I'm slow. And she started practicing a new mantra: these arms are strong, they carry my life. These arms are strong, they carry my life. Within weeks, she wore a tank top to the grocery store for the first time in years. It wasn't about the tank top, it was about freedom. Another example: This was a woman in her early 60s, and she hated how her face was aging. And she'd say things like, I look tired all the time, even when I'm not. And we talked about how looking tired is often a stand in for, I'm not looking the way I used to. So we practice mirror neutrality, not remember that toxic positivity. We're not forcing that. We're just practicing being neutral. She'd look in the mirror and say, this is what a 60-year-old woman looks like after a full, rich life. This is the face of someone who's loved and lost and grown. And gradually, the tension softened around what that inner critic was saying about her face. Another one, and this one is I hear all the time. This was a woman mid-50s. This was all about the belly, right? Like extra weight or fat around the belly. And she used to be super, super lean, but after perimenopause and 3 kids, her body changed and where fat distribution was changed, and she hated it. And so we use something I call body curiosity. Every morning she'd ask, what does my body need today? What does it want to tell me? And then she'd respond with food, movement, or rest, not from punishment, but from care, from nourishment. And that's the point. When we shift from fixing our bodies to caring for them, everything changes. So let's pull it all together with some practical tools you can try this week. Name the inner critic. Give her a name. Marge, Cruella, whatever. This creates distance and makes it easier to challenge those thoughts. When Marge starts whispering, say, not today, Marge, I'm busy living. Another one, create a morning mirror ritual. Every morning, look in the mirror and say 3 things. One thing you're proud of, one thing your body helped you do yesterday, one thing you're looking forward to today. It takes 30 seconds and it literally retrains and rewires your brain so you can experience more freedom throughout the day. Number 3, this one is huge. I preach this all the time. Dress the body you have. No more squeezing into jeans from 2012. Clothes should fit you, not the other way around. When you're comfortable, you carry yourself differently. It changes your posture and your mindset. This was huge for me. It was really figuring out that some of the jeans I used to wear just did not fit in the same. They were tight in place. I would wear them and they were so uncomfortable throughout the day. That uncomfortability of our clothes actually is a signal to our brain that something's wrong. And so we're constantly in this state of tension, just mentally, emotionally, just from wearing clothes that do not fit or are uncomfortable. Do not wear uncomfortable clothing. Number 4, diversify your social media. This is another really big one. Unfollow anyone who makes you feel like you're constantly falling short, even if it's not intentional on the social media person's part. Just if it makes you feel like you're constantly falling short, just unfollow. Curate your social media to be inspiring to you with real life women. Follow older women, follow diverse bodies and people celebrating real life, not airbrushed fantasy. Number 5, focus on function over form. Write a list of everything your body lets you do: dance, hike, think, love, laugh, cry. It's not about what your body looks like, it's about how it serves your life. Number 6, you could try body based self compassion. Place your hand on your heart or your belly, take a breath, say, this is my body. It's doing its best. I'm grateful for it. Number 7, practice joy in movement. Move your body, I talked about this last time, in a way that feels good and not punishing. So it could be climbing, it could be biking, it could be yoga, dancing in your kitchen, or just stretching in the morning sun. Joy heals more than discipline ever will. So, final thoughts here. You are still you. Here's what I hope you remember. You are not your wrinkles. You are not your dress size. You are not your age. You are a living, breathing, evolving human being. Your value has never come from your appearance. It comes from how you live, how you love, and how you show up. And the more peace you make with your body, the more energy you have to focus on what actually matters in life, to actually live in alignment with your values. So the next time the mirror lies to you or your mind tries to shrink your worth down to a number or a reflection, take a pause, breathe, and remind yourself, I'm allowed to age. I'm allowed to take up space, and I'm still becoming. Thanks for joining me today here on Wellness for Real. And if this episode spoke to you or if you found it valuable and you have a friend who maybe needs to hear it, please share it. And then if you would, leave a review if you found value here. I really hope you take to heart what I had to say and maybe take one or two of the ideas that I offered in this episode and really plug into those this week. I'm telling you, these simple strategies can really, really change the rut that the brain goes into around our looks, our appearance, and you really can find freedom for the rest of your life. Until next time, keep living boldly, age with intention, and treat your body like the home it truly is. We'll talk soon. Thanks for tuning in to Wellness for Real. Don't forget to sign up for my free monthly newsletter. It's packed with tips for real well-being, high protein recipe in every issue, and exclusive discounts on products and services I trust. You can find the link in the show notes at my website, heatherheynen.com. Let's stay connected. Follow me on Instagram at Heynen Counseling and Coaching, on Facebook at Wellness for Real, and catch more content on YouTube. And if you're enjoying the show, please rate, review, and share it. It really helps others find the support and inspiration they need to thrive after midlife.
The information in this podcast is intended to provide a broad understanding and knowledge of healthcare topics. This information is for educational purposes only and should not be considered complete and should not be used in place of advice from your physician or healthcare provider. We recommend you consult your physician or healthcare professional before beginning or altering your personal exercise, diet, or supplementation program.